This is going to be a review of this Gemelli or Gemelli, I don't know how you pronounce it, passion for food. Alright, as you can see, it's a gourmet electric steak grill. Alright, let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, this I bought myself because I used a propane one and it worked well, and I kind of wanted one that ran on electric so I can run it in my Cybertruck without having to carry a propane tank. So we'll see how this compares. And if it works really well compared to that one, then I think this will be awesome. I'll just leave it in my truck probably. We'll see. Alright, anyways, cut this open. Okay. Again, I don't know what you guys can see. Hopefully you guys can see what's going on. I just cut the top of the box open. Okay. I think you guys can see what's happening. Alright, it looks like there's a box in this box. Okay, now how do I get this box out of the box? I gotta flip it upside down. Hopefully it's okay to be turned upside down, because otherwise everything's just gonna fall out. It tells you to leave it standing up, but I have no choice unless I just rip the box apart. So I'm gonna turn it upside down. Okay. Again, I don't know what you guys can see, but I think you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. Oh no, it's falling back in. It's hard to pull out of this box. Should I just leave it upside down? Okay, it's working. There we go. Got that box out. And now there's a plain white box inside of that box. I'm not sure why there's a plain white box inside the box. But okay, maybe they wanted thicker cardboard. Alright, let's go ahead and cut that. Oh, it's already cut. Cut this side. Cut that. Okay. So we got that open. Got this open, flip this open. Okay, so inside we have this metal plate, and there's a foam thing in it. Okay. I don't see an easy way to get this out, so I guess I'm gonna have to keep using this thing to cut stuff. Some people ask me why I keep everything in. Sometimes it helps people with putting everything back in the packaging, so I just leave everything in the recording. So here we go. Let's go ahead and peel this out. I think we're gonna have to just tear the bag because, yeah, that's gonna be almost impossible to get out. Okay, so the problem is there's also tape wrapped around this way, so we're gonna have to cut that as well. Oh, I think there's actually two separate baggies. Okay, be careful, you don't want to, I mean, they're probably going to get scratched anyways, but you probably don't want to scratch them up. Okay, so there's two separate things here, and then you have this metal thing for getting the trays out of the machine, I'm pretty sure. Guess we'll throw the box in the other box, or the garbage in the other box. Okay, so yeah, this thing's kind of, I'm going to have to cut it more. Tape on the whole thing. So here's one of them, and this one has like a kind of curve to it. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm showing or talking about. And then this one's completely flat. Okay, so I'm assuming this is to get under there and then you can get the things out. Okay, so we'll set that aside in this box for now. You got a pamphlet here. Okay, I know people don't like to read instructions, but I'm gonna look at it and then I'll be back, alright? Well, before I read it, let's get the machine out. So it has this foam thing. We're gonna pull that out. Okay, and then this looks like it just comes up. I don't know what this, oh, that's the bag, okay. So, get underneath. How do I get it? It's too slippery. Might have to tip the whole thing over again. Okay, the front has, since the front has a hole in it, you can do it that way. Get this box out of the way. Alright, so here is the machine. As you can see, there's the cable there. My keys there. Okay, so the cable seems relatively long for something that probably used higher amperage. That's nice. Okay, this cable, let me try and get a rough estimate of the length. is maybe about 5 feet or so. Okay, not too bad. Then we gotta get this out somehow. There's some foam in the front, or cardboard and foam. Okay, I'll take that out. Okay, then the baggie. You can see underneath there's 2 fans, and then it has little rubber feet. Some plastic tabs here. I don't know if this screw is meant to be removed. On some stuff, when people ship things, they put like an extra screw in certain parts. That thing's like really silver compared to everything else, so I'm wondering if that screw is meant to be removed, but I'm just gonna take this out. Okay. They did wrap some tape around this bag to make it stay the size of the machine. Let's see if I can get a better view here because it's too sunny. I can't tell what I'm recording. So I need to move over here. Give me a second. Alright, so there's this cardboard here. I need to get the box of garbage. Okay, so you got that. Take out this foam before use, so that foam is just in the top of it. Okay, and nothing else. It just has that, says to take it out before use. There's a thermometer and multiple other trays. Okay, so I'm assuming this is like a drip tray to catch like the fat and grease, whatever liquid that drips off. Okay, and that I guess goes on the bottom one. I guess you can also cook stuff in it if you want, but I guess we'll see what it says. All right, it came with some tongs here, a thermometer, which let's see if I can get it out without, oh man, okay. So thermometer wrapped in bubble wrap. Why does this look so gross? It looks like they had tape on it and then they took it out. So I don't know about poking this into the meat unless you can clean all of this off. I might have to use rubbing alcohol to get that out. And has this thing. I don't know why they have this. It's not like it's gonna set a temperature for you, but I guess so you don't forget what temperature you were waiting for. Okay, I need to cut this stuff open some more. Got the tongs. Can't see what I'm recording, it's so sunny out here. Let's lower this a bit. Okay, cut this. Alright. So we got some nice tongs here, all metal. Well, not all metal, it has these rubber handle things here. Okay, obviously we need to untwist this. Okay, but these are decent quality looking tongs. The metal things are pretty durable, and it wiggles a little bit side to side, but not a crazy amount. I mean, these are smaller tongs, so I wouldn't expect it to be too wobbly. That's good. All right, now how do I get this tray out here? I gotta tear more stuff up. They put so much tape on this thing. Goodness. So much tape. All right, I'm gonna have to cut this up. That. Okay, hopefully that's enough. And we can get this other tray out, this same as the other one, also drip tray or whatever pan you can use. Okay, it does need to go, it needs to skip one slot to fit. Okay, then this is wrapped in a, this is in a Ziploc baggie. So inside the Ziploc bag you get this tray that keeps it elevated off the surface. Okay, and I think those are all the pieces. So this, it just fits in here, okay? Like that. Alright, let's go inside and take a look at the instruction manual now. Alright, so I'm just going to flip through all the manuals and stuff. If you want to see it in use, just go ahead and skip to that part, okay? So here you go, here's the safety stuff of removing these side rails. Okay, obviously you want to wait till it cools down. It said to wait about an hour or something like that. Alright, and then here's the stuff before returning it or requesting service to read the manual. So here's the manual. So if you have issues with your grill, make sure to watch through this whole thing, okay? Or you can read it. I'm not going to read it to you. But if you're curious, here's all the table of contents if you need that information. Okay. Don't leave it unattended during use. Okay. Don't put anything obviously that can get damaged from heat near it. And don't put it near other things that emit high temperatures. You also want to use it in a well ventilated area. They recommend using it in a thing with like what do you call it? The exhaust fan. It also says not to use it. I mean, you can use it outdoors, but to bring it inside, don't leave it outside. All right, it will get damaged from the weather or changes in temperatures outside. Also, it tells you like not to use in RVs and things like that, or commercial settings, hotels, buffet lounges, small business restaurants and shops, office, kitchen, lunchroom, or any other commercial business areas. And yeah, it said not to use it in like airplanes, motorboats, RVs, or any other passenger vehicles. Anyways, I think I already showed this part, right? It's danger for children and stuff, so be careful. And yeah, obviously you don't want to submerge it in liquids. You do want to clean everything before first use, and you do want to preheat it and then let it cool down and then wipe down the inside before first use. So I'm going to have to do that. I did wash the internal things there, but there's that information. You can see what the inside will look like. I'm going to show you obviously. All right. But I want to have all this information there in case I lose the manual or the manual gets damaged and I need to use it. So it uses this ceramic infrared high heat thing. Okay, here you can see the parts: the grill rack, concave grill rack, broiler pan, resting rack, drip pan, and the grill handle. Okay, so that little metal thing is just for resting it, not for actually cooking. I don't know what will happen if you cook with it. It might get damaged. So anyways, tells you how to take it out of the box and everything. Make sure you don't leave any packaging materials in there when you use it, or it's going to get burned up and cause problems. You can also change the temperature between Celsius and Fahrenheit. To me, it doesn't really matter because I just use it to sear steaks and I just set it to the highest temperature. But if you need that information, it's in there. Okay. I'm going to run it to the highest temperature, let it cool down, and then clean it up, and then we'll start cooking in it. But here you go. It also says you should preheat for the best results. Okay. Always insert drip tray into guide rail number 7 of the rack holders. So yeah, the drip tray always goes to the bottom one. And then they tell you how to cook it. So depending what rail you're using, if you're using the first or second, it goes somewhat towards the back here, you can see. Rails 3 and 4, you can have it a little bit more forward, and then rails 5 and 6, you can have it more forward. That's because most of the heat is towards the back and the top, and then as it goes lower, the heat kind of just goes outwards. So there you go. Meat position is very important. Okay, so it tells you to put it like that in the racks. Otherwise, it's not going to sear well. Okay. And then it says to let the meat rest and whatnot. Tells you how to grill vegetables and other stuff, and how to use the concave thing, or uses for it. Okay. Here's some grilling guides, how long and what temperatures to use. And I'm sure these are if you're doing like raw food, not pre-cooked like I'm doing with the sous vide. Okay, so keep that in mind. Hopefully this information will be useful to somebody. Okay. And then it tells you how to clean it. Here's the troubleshoot information if you're having problems with yours. Okay, and I'm going to show compared to a propane one that I have. Obviously, if you have propane, then yeah, propane will probably work a lot better. It's big, it has a bigger surface area as well for cooking. But here you go. Oh, they also have, is that a recipe? Yeah, it does. These are recipes. Okay. So if you want those recipes. I think these are more recipes. Yep, more recipes. think this is the last page. And we'll start using it. Okay, here's the stuff about the warranty. It says also to keep the original box for shipping it and transporting it, because that's the safest way to transport it, with those little foam or whatever materials to package it. And there you go. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire up or power up the grill, and yeah, we'll go outside. Alright, so this is what the device looks like inside. Right, I plugged it in. As you can see, this is on right now, and you can see it doesn't do anything until you push the button. And alright, it's showing the temperature. I'm gonna set it, so you press it. Alright, interesting. Oh, there's the timer. There's a timer over here as well. Oh, I should probably turn flash off. Okay, so there's a timer here. I don't need the timer, but if you press it, that starts it, and it's starting to heat. Let's see how quickly it heats. It's taking a while. It's not very hot. Also, it tells you not to use extension cables. Okay, it does take a while to heat. Let me turn this off first, because I want to show you how to remove this rail. It says you lift it and then you just pull it out. You can see how it just hooks on there. Okay, so those just go on like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 rails. Okay, anyways, so let's see. So again, you can set the temperature, you set the time, and then it goes. I'm going to turn it off. I didn't see how to change the temperature. I think holding it just turns it off. Okay, let me see. I might have to look how to change the temperature, but I'll have to look that up on the thing. Oh, there you go. If you hold it when it's off, then it does that, and you can change it to Fahrenheit or Celsius. So to me, it doesn't matter which is which, but you can change it if you want. I'm going to leave it on Fahrenheit. And oops, I want to set it to the max temperature. There you go, 1560. And I'm going to set it, well, I don't really need a timer here, but this thing's a little wobbly. I don't know if that's normal. You see that? It's wobbly. Like, this doesn't stay secured to this. But anyways, there you go. Since I'm not going to be cooking on these surfaces, it's probably okay if you don't wipe this down, but it might emit some fumes. So yeah, you probably want to, after you heat it up again, it says pull, let it cool down, pull these things out, wipe it down, and then yeah. Anyways, here's the gas one I have. Okay, I'm going to start preheating this one. So this one, you have a propane tank. Size wise, it's actually the size is almost double. This is almost double the size of this, and it also has this thing sticking out, and then you need the propane, so it takes like more than 3 times the space as one of these. So if you get this, you can probably get 4 in the same amount of space. Why is it beeping? Error? Why is it giving an error? Uh-oh, I might have to read that. See? Error 1, EH. I mean, it's getting warm. Okay, anyways, I might have to use this one inside or plug it somewhere else. We'll see. Okay, also here's a size comparison. So if you're just cooking on the top rack, you're only supposed to use that much. So if I compare this to here, it's not too bad. You get a little bit more width on this, or length on that one, but you can see how it's about, this is about 2 of these ovens combined. Anyways, I'm going to put this in here just so it can like preheat, and if there's anything that didn't get washed off, it'll get that out. Okay, and we have the drip tray. I think these 2 trays are exactly the same. So it just says to put it on the 7th one to catch any drippings. Alright, the other one, that's hot. Whoops, burnt myself. Alright, anyways, I'll set that back there. And we're going to use this guy to get this thing in. Okay, so we'll just get that right there. And we're going to let those heat up. This one I left, there's some grease down there, but it's okay. Alright, and then this one, you don't want to leave this in while you're cooking it, otherwise it's going to get really hot and burn you. This is kind of weird because I guess it's easier to hold it upside down, right? If it's on the top rack, it's going to fall off. Do I need to hold it with this way? there's a bump on there to kind of help. But there you go. Okay. So anyways, there's definitely a huge heat difference. This is like burning hot already. This thing is taking its time. So we'll see what happens. Oh, it's giving me errors. Maybe I need to plug it. Okay, I'm gonna plug it somewhere else. But I'm gonna cook one in here real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and season this all up using the Kinder's the blend. It's just salt, pepper, garlic powder, and then some oil. Alright, so this is what I use. Kinder's premium quality seasoning, the blend, salt, pepper, and garlic. Okay, it just makes it so that it's very consistent. Sea salt, dehydrated garlic, black pepper, and then you see some sunflower oil. That's it. Okay, so very simple ingredients. Alright, and then I got a smaller bottle here. This is what I'm going to use. And let's go ahead and sprinkle it all over. So open that up on the sprinkling side, and we're just going to sprinkle a bunch. The one difference with this is because this one is a wider piece of meat, that the seasoning might be a little more for this one. At least towards the center. We'll see. We'll try and get the outer edges and everything. But there we go. We're going to pat the seasoning onto it. Make sure the seasoning sticks. Flip it over or rotate it. Okay, just like that. And we'll season up the fat sides. Usually I don't put much on this side, but okay, we'll do it anyways this time. Okay, stick it on. All right, we'll rotate it to the unseasoned side. Okay, we'll get that all seasoned. Just like that. Okay, pat it on. And then let's do one other side of this. Which one did we miss? This side, the non-fat side. Okay. Not as fatty side. Good. This one's going to be a bit more seasoned, but okay. Should be good. Put a little more here. Alright, so there you go. Very well seasoned. The reason I like to use this is it's very consistent. There's no like, did I put enough salt? Did I put enough pepper? It's more, did you shake enough of it on? So you don't have to get like the right balance. It's already very well balanced. Alright. We'll just try and get the rest of the seasoning that's all over the board onto here. Okay, let's go get it into a vacuum bag and then drop it into the sous vide. Alright, so here you go. I got it bagged up. I put that fat flap going down that way and then the chunk of fat there. Alright, and we got them overlapped so that the fat is on the outside of both portions of the bag. Let's go ahead and get this in. Just like that. Okay, close it up. And we're going to lock this. We're going to put it on sous vide mode and we're going to vacuum. See it shrink. Alright, you can see it's pulling some of the moisture up into there. Alright, very well vacuumed down. Should be good. Let's go ahead and seal it. Okay. The sous vide bath is already at 128.5. So once this seals, we can go ahead and drop it in. Alright, it's done. Let's take a look. Looks good. No junk caught under the seal. We should be good. Alright, let's go ahead and drop it in. You can see we have it at 128.5. It's going a little bit above. And we're just going to drop it into this water bath. Okay. And we'll let it sit there for 2 hours. Alright, it's actually been going for almost 3 hours now. Too long, but yeah, ended up having work and stuff, so let's go ahead and get this out. We're just going to get the bottom one out. The other one can go another half hour, and then we're going to go ahead and sear that. So I'm going to get these out of the bag, dry them up, and then sear them. Alright, here's what it looks like before drying it. Let's dry it up now. And there it is dried up. Let's go ahead and sear them. Alright, I think I found out what the issue is, and it's not going to work. The reason is, you see the temperature I set, 960. I set the time. So basically this is preheating, and it's just staying at 51 degrees. So whatever's going on, the temperature sensor built in, it's not detecting the temperature. And because of that, it's like, why isn't it heating up? And then it gives up. So I need to reach out to the manufacturer, seller, and see what they want me to do with that. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Alright, since the first one wasn't working right, they sent me another one. I'm assuming it's exactly the same. I'm going to cut it open and we'll see. Alright, so we'll open this up. And yep, there's another white box in the box. Hopefully they sent me a shipping label. I don't know if they emailed me one, but they said to return the other one in the box. And then, yeah. Well, I see no shipping label, so let's open this. Yeah, so it looks like they sent a completely brand new one, same exact everything. Okay, so I'm basically just going to pull the machine out and put the old one in here, and hopefully this one preheats okay. I wonder if they tested it beforehand, because you can see the grate is all brown already. Usually that happens when it gets really hot, so we'll see. Hopefully it works. I already took out all the packaging. The old one I swapped everything over, so there's that. Alright, and I don't know, this one looks like it has some marks on it. So I guess it's supposed to be wobbly like that. Okay, we'll see if it works. Alright, repackaged up the old one. Same exact way in the new box. And yeah, I'll ship that one back. I need to ask them for the label. Alright, I plugged it in. The fan spun up for a little bit. Let's go ahead and check now. Temperature is showing 32. Okay, that's the other one was showing 51 and it was permanently stuck there. So I think this should be okay. 1560. Let's go ahead and start it up. 9 minutes 50 seconds. Or sorry, is that 9 minutes and 50 seconds? I think once it heats up to the temperature, it'll be 9 minutes 50 seconds. So here you can see it's showing 32 degrees. This should go up as it gets hotter. That's what I think how it should be working. This is showing the current temperature, but oh no, this one's stuck at 32. Is it just gonna die like the other? Okay, no, 35. Okay, you can see this one's actually working now. Okay. There we go. We're gonna let that heat up, and I'm gonna go get the steaks ready. I had some that I did the sous vide earlier, and then I had to refreeze them because I couldn't cook them right away. I had to wait for this, so hopefully they'll still turn out just as good. Alright, we'll find out. And I'm gonna burn off whatever factory coating from all these things now, even though I washed these already. I can definitely smell the factory oils burning off right now, so yeah, it's doing its job. And right now it's 280, 295, 200. Okay, it's going up pretty quick. I forgot, I can run this one from the Cybertruck, so I'm going to do that. I turned it off. You can see the temperature's kind of should be going down. I don't know what's going on here. Wait, do I have to hold this to turn it off? Okay, there we go. So we'll let it turn off. The fans will keep running till it cools down, then we can unplug it and I'll move it over. Alright, I think they should be good by now. Oops, why is it set? Uh-oh, now it got cooked more than I needed it to inside. But anyways, it should be good enough. They were frozen, so hopefully it's just warm all the way through. It seems like it's all warm, so you know the drill. I'm going to take it out. I put it in a Ziploc bag because I accidentally dropped it and I think it punctured the vacuum bag, so I had to put it in there just to make sure that no water seeped in. Anyways, I'm going to pull them out, dry them up with paper towel, and then we're going to sear it and see how it goes. Alright, here they are. We just got to dry them up. Okay, first thing to take note of, this thing takes a very long time to preheat. I think it's been preheating for like 20 minutes now, and it's still not the temperature. You see it's 14 or something. Anyways, I think we're just going to put it in and see how it goes. So here they are, dried up. I don't know if it's going to fit the full length of it, so we'll find out. Okay, so here we go. One thing with working on it outside is obviously there's some wind, right? So maybe that's preventing it from preheating faster. But anyways, we're going to pull this tray almost all the way out. We don't want to pull it all the way completely out. And we're going to go ahead and grab, we'll do the New York strip first because it's small enough that it will fit well. Okay, and you want to put it towards the back of it. Let's try and do it diagonal so that way we can kind of get more of it in there. Okay, and it's really close to the top of the thing. me see if I can show you. Oh, this thing's getting stuck in there. So it's really close to the top of it, okay? So yeah, let me get you back on the tripod. There we go. Maybe I should zoom in a bit. Alright, I don't know how long this one will take compared to the other one I used. I'm pretty sure the gas one works a lot better, faster. So we'll see. Let's take a look. It's not ready yet. Okay. So this one might cook more through the steaks, but this one at least you can kind of do indoors. It does have quite a bit of smoke, so yeah, you'd want to have like a ventilation or have your windows open really well. If you have the kitchen stove ventilation, you'll probably want to use that. Okay. Getting there. Definitely takes longer than the propane one. It's getting pretty smoky. I don't know if you can see the smoke, but there's quite a bit of smoke in here. Honestly, I don't know if I would use this indoors because of how much smoke is coming out. You want a very good ventilation if you're going to be using this indoors or your entire house. Ooh, it does look good though. Okay, so the back isn't getting as seared as the front, so I left it pulled out slightly. Okay, but yeah, this definitely takes a lot longer than the gas one. Okay, I wish they made a 240 volt version that can basically do higher power, higher heat. Here you go. That's what it looks like. It looks good. We're gonna flip it and we're gonna do the other side. Okay, and you don't want to leave this thing in there because it can get hot and then it will burn you. I don't know how I'm gonna do the ribeye because the ribeye is too too long. It's not gonna fit the whole plate. So that is one downside to this small one. But for like personal portion size, I guess if you cut the ribeye shorter, I can probably cut the fat portion off, and then that might be okay. I'm gonna do that real quick. So I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can show you what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna cut the fat portion off. Since this one takes longer to sear, I probably have enough time to do that. Okay, and we're just gonna cut this out, and we'll cook that on a separate thing. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get back to the steak here. Hopefully you guys can see everything. Alright, let's pull this out and take a look. I'm gonna have to get rid of the paper towel soon. Oh, this is in the way, sorry. There you go. And that actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna leave it in a little bit more, not all the way in because the back isn't searing as well. And I'm going to throw the paper towel away real quick so I have more room to work here without it flopping all over the place. Okay. Alright, and I have a feeling it should be done by now. So let's go ahead and pull this out. Ooh, yeah, that looks good. I almost dropped the whole tray on the floor pulling it too far out. So you want to be careful not to pull this metal tray out too far. Okay, so I'm going to set the New York strip aside. We're going to do the ribeye. Definitely the cooking area of this is much smaller. So let's see here. I'm going to drop this in there, and then we can drop the extra little fat portion on the inside, I guess. Let's see, maybe like this, right? Okay, and I'll drop that in. There we go. So we can actually fit all of it in there. We'll wait till both steaks are done. That way the New York strip can have time to rest, and then once we try the New York strip, then the other one will have time to rest. Okay? So you guys are able to see everything. And the temperature of it is showing 1378. So yeah, as we cook the meat, it's actually lowering the temperature some. You can actually see some sparks. Let me see if I can show you this. Maybe I should have done this at night so you can see inside there. You can see some sparks, the fat splashing and then igniting on the heating coils. Should be done soon, so let me go ahead and get you guys back in the tripod. pull it out and we'll take a look. It's making a lot of popping sounds. Oh, oops, it finished the timer. I don't want it to stop. Keep going. Okay. We're gonna pull this out. Nope, still needs to go. Yeah, so it takes quite some time to sear up the steaks in here. It works, it just takes a lot of time. The other thing with this is I would make sure to use this during off-peak times. Because, yeah. Otherwise, at least in California where I live, the electricity is really expensive during peak hours. So I'd try to make sure to time it right. The one thing with the Cybertruck is I can charge it off peak and then I can cook this whenever I want. So yeah, I can technically use the electricity anytime will be off peak for me as long as I charge the truck off peak. Although it does put wear on the battery, so there's that. Alright, it's getting very smoky. I think that means it's just about ready. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna get the tongs and flip the stuff over. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this. Ooh. The one thing is I wish there was a little bit more of a catch so that you don't drop this while trying to rotate stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna rotate it this way to get it more in there, and then we'll get this piece on this side now. And now we'll get that back in. Oops, it's crooked now. So I'm gonna make sure, get this in right. There we go. Also, well, I'll pull out the drip tray in a bit once this has time to finish. The one thing with this is it's so much slower, so you'll be cooking like forever. The gas one's definitely much faster. If you're using this, I would say it's just for your own personal use. If you're just making a portion for yourself. If you're trying to cook for a bunch of people, this is probably not going to be the way to go. The propane one is definitely much better for that. Okay, it cooks faster and it lets you cook more. So this thing, you can see it's taking so long. I should actually pull this second drip tray out a little bit so that the oil doesn't drip into the knob. So I'll make the second one out a little further just in case, because when I pull the tray out, I'm worried it's going to fall into the knob. The fat piece that I cut off, it looks like it's pretty much done. So I'm going to pull that out. Oh, it's dripping everywhere. You gotta be careful here. Alright, we'll get this. We'll get that out. And this still needs quite a bit to go. Okay, so we're going to push that back in. And we'll let it keep going. Yeah, a lot of grease is dripping out here. So you do want a drip tray thing to catch it. Honestly, the design, I feel they should put the knob somewhere else, because the knob is going to drip grease and other stuff into it. So you see how I have the two drip trays? I have one to catch the dripping fat that goes further out, right? You need a little thing that extends out. Maybe build a little hood with some foil or something. I might use some maybe cardboard and foil. Should be enough. I don't think the cardboard will burn. We'll see. If it does, then I'll have to find another way. But yeah, because this, now I'm going to have to wash two drip trays at once. That's kind of not very nice. This looks to be about done, at least for the back. So it's weird, only this portion cooked. You see, this part didn't cook. So actually, if you put it too far back, then it's not going to sear. So the cooking portion is actually very close to the back center, but not all the way to the back. So you have to keep that in mind, otherwise you're not going to sear the whole thing. And I'll show you once I pull the whole steak out. You'll see the New York strip, how it didn't sear one portion. Alright, see, it's not searing a portion of it. And it might also be because the other part is further up, or is higher up slightly. So the back end where it's lower down, it's not getting seared well. But this is taking so long, I think it'd be better to do this with a more raw steak than to do it with a sous vide steak. Because I feel like we're cooking it now. Okay, anyways, I'm going to turn this off. So hold the button to turn it off. And then I'm going to move to a, well, actually I guess we can see it out here. Alright, let me go ahead and show you guys what the steaks look like now. Was it worth it? Not if you have the propane version. The nice thing with this, I guess, is that you don't need propane, so it depends on how bad you want to avoid using propane. Okay, let me zoom out here. Okay, I don't know what you can see. Hopefully you can see everything. It's too sunny out here for me to see the screen of my phone, but here we go. So here's the New York strip. We're gonna go ahead and cut this open and take a look inside. This was sous vide, already cooked to, I guess it went to 129 now, but originally 128.5. And then that one's gonna have to sit for a while. So let's go ahead and try this. As you can see here, this portion of it didn't sear as well. This portion got a lot better sear. So anyways, we'll go ahead and cut this. That was a thin piece that I cut. Let's give this a try. I mean, it's my usual steaks. Oh yeah, it's good. This thing is putting off a lot of smoke. So yeah, I don't think I would use it indoors. I think I should probably return it because it doesn't work too well. I had my hopes up for this, but I don't know now if I should keep it. For personal use, yeah, it's fine, but usually when I cook steaks, I'm cooking for multiple people, not just one single steak. I guess also I can sous vide it for less time and then sear it longer here. So I don't know, this one you're not gonna get as much of a, I mean, you're gonna have more of that gray banding. I don't know if it shows up here, but the pink portion, there's a much thicker area of the gray because of how long we had to sear it for. So you can see it. Okay, hopefully you can see that. But yeah, it came out good. All right. Move this aside. I'm gonna cut the cap. I'm gonna separate the ribeye cap from the rest of the ribeye. Here. Okay. Let's go ahead and cut open the ribeye and see what it looks like. You see it's overcooked here, I feel. Alright, let's cut this. Now this is more like a medium well. It's good. I think if I use this, I wouldn't sous vide it. So maybe in the future I'll try making some steaks without doing this. Sorry, my phone overheated. What I was saying is maybe I'll try one day to make some steaks without sous videing it, just to see how they turn out, and then do it like at a lower temperature and then sear it up after. But yeah, overall not bad. Now for the good part. It's good. Definitely this is really good. Okay. So yeah, this is a great alternative if you're not able to have a propane version. I know some places they don't want you to have like propane or charcoal grill. If they're okay with you having an electric one, this is a great alternative. Again, it's not as good. The propane one cooks way or sears way faster if you're using sous vide first. It'll sear it way faster. The propane one will do it at a much higher temperature, more evenly, But again, if you don't have another option and you're stuck with only electric, then this is a decent alternative. All right. The other thing with this version, it's smaller, so it's nice for making personal size, and the tray would be easier to clean than the giant tray from the propane one, because the propane one's much larger. So if you're just cooking for yourself, then actually this is nicer for cleanup. Again, they should make a little hood that goes over the button. What else? The other nice thing is, if you're carrying this around for yourself to cook, you don't have to also carry a propane tank, so you have a lot less space that's being used. So if you have something that generates electricity and you're trying to like reduce space usage, yeah, you won't need propane if you're using this. So that's good. You won't have to carry the propane, although you can use the mini propane tanks with the propane version as well, if you get the little adapter. So that tank doesn't take too much space, honestly, and it lasts quite enough time for doing multiple steaks. So yeah, weigh your options, decide what you want. Personally, I would say the propane one's much better, but the electric one is good if you can't use the propane one, or gas or charcoal kind of thing. Alright, so there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, one other thing is, because this one is electric, you're not burning the oxygen in the air to run this, so it's okay to use it in your house, although you do want to have something to pull the smoke out. But yeah, propane, if you're burning that in your house, you're reducing the oxygen levels in your house, and that's not good for you, and you could potentially suffocate and die from that. But the chance of that, unless you're in a really small room, you're probably going to be okay. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. One last thing I forgot to mention, if I didn't already, the cooldown time for this is very long. So I turned it off. It's just showing the 3 lines on there now, but it's been going. I think the fan runs for like 20 minutes or so, maybe longer. But anyways, that's it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Oh, one last thing I'm not quite being completely fair is, obviously you can use these grills for other things. You can do vegetables and other things. So my use is just to sear steaks. So if you're using it for other things like cooking vegetables and whatnot, then you probably won't have as much of a problem with that. But since I just want the highest temperature possible to sear these steaks, then I'm not using it 100% the way it was intended. They use it to cook the steaks while searing it. Okay, so yeah, but for me, I cook it because I cook it to where I already have the internal what I want, and then I just want the highest temperature possible to sear the outside. So that's why I like the propane version better. I guess that would be somewhat similar to using like the propane kind of torch thing. But yeah, the torch, I feel it burns more of the fats on it, so you're more likely to get some bitter flavor. This kind of electric thing and the propane one that it just uses the infrared to heat it, it doesn't have that issue unless you're burning the fat really bad. So yeah, there's a great alternative, and you can use it for cooking lots of other things, as you saw in the instruction booklet that I showed, or if you skipped ahead, then you didn't see that. But yeah, it can be used for many more things than what I'm using it for, but I just use it for steaks. So that's just me. Anyways, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you on the next one. Promise this is the last one. All right, bye. I forgot to show, this is what the tray looks like after cooking. Okay. And this is what the fat drip tray, all the oil that's in there. Look at that. And a little bit at the bottom. But yeah, see, if I didn't pull that out, this would have gotten all dripped. You can see it already got a little bit on there. So that's kind of not a good design, I feel. Yeah. They need to put like some kind of thing over here.